Meanwhile, in New Jersey...
So, Marissa, what talking points do you want to hit on in this week's episode?
Well, Jackie, let's talk about how the film addresses the patriarchy. Ooh, and representation of marginalized people. Ooh, and even philosophical ramifications of good versus evil in horror.
We can point out the triangle boobs, talk about the blood splatter, and the practical effects. And also the male gaze?
My gaze at the males.
Hi-yo! From feminism to fangirling, the Jersey Ghouls cover all the bases of horror from a woman's perspective.
New episodes are uploaded every other Sunday.
Just search Jersey Ghouls to find us on social media and your favorite podcasting app.
You've been lost in the woods for hours now, stumbling around in the dark. You come around the bend and see two people roasting marshmallows over a roaring fire. They see you coming into the clearing and gesture over to pull up a log. Welcome to Campfire Ashes. I'm Paul.
And I'm Jess. Join us as we tell each other our originally written spooky stories around the campfire and then dive into the lore and legends that inspired them. Is it something that goes bump in the night? Is it something menacing lurking past the tree line? Or is it just weird and otherworldly? You'll find it here on Campfire Ashes.
You can find us on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, or right here on the Geekscape Network.
There's a party each and every year on Christmas Eve, where the fun and cocktail shrimp don't seem to end. Clark and Ralphie taking turns on the TV screen, laughing, singing, yelling with all of our friends. Well, it's Christmas, and everybody's gonna spread the holiday cheer.
Hey, Dylan.
Hey there, Matt. You know, when I sit back and record a little episode of Christmas 365, I like to have on me a little bit of integrity.
So you've been doing a South Park binge.
Yes. So this South Park binge has started. It started probably last year. We got all the way to the Trump season. The Garrison turns into Trump season. And I had watched that multiple times before, and I was like, I don't have it in me to do this right now, like at least this season. So we stopped for a little bit. And then recently a new South Park video game came out, Snow Day, and it's not good at all. But I was like, I'm gonna revisit some of the other stuff. So I started playing one of the older games, and I was like, let's get back to our binge. But a little peek behind the curtain on when we're recording this versus when it's going to come out. 4 days ago was 4/20.
Yeah.
But it was also Record Store Day. And on Record Store Day, the South Park 25th anniversary concert came out on vinyl.
Nice.
And it was an RSD first release, and it was a very popular release. So your boy did not get a copy, unfortunately, when he went out with a friend of the show, Sean Ward, this past weekend.
Question
yeah.
as someone who doesn't partake in Record Store Day. When you say it's an RSD first release, does that mean that there will be a bigger release later?
Yes. So when RSD Record Store Day announcements come out, they'll be put in categories. There are RSD exclusives, which those will not be getting cut or recut or repressed. But yes, RSD first, they do a limited run, usually a different variant. Like this one was Towley Blue, like was the color of the vinyl. I know, and dude, Towley rules. So that is eventually going to come out again, and I'm super stoked to pick up a copy of that. But I had told Sean about the concert, and so on my way home from his house, I started listening to the concert, and I'm like, all right, I'm ready to get back into this. Yeah. And a creator on YouTube that I was watching, he had done a video on the history of Towley for for 420. So he did like a video about Towley, and I was like, you know what? Let's pick up from the Tegrity season.
Okay.
So for those of you unfamiliar, at the end of season 22 of South Park, fucking wild that's a statement. At the end of season 22 of South Park, Randy picks up his family and moves on out to a Colorado farm. And he tells Sharon, why don't we just live off the grid, Sharon? Let's go farm and we can just start over. We can start our own place. We can live off the land. It's going to be great. And then the big reveal is that Randy just wants to grow weed in a farm. And he creates Tegrity Farms. And season 22 ends. And when season 23 picks back up, the first 6 episodes of season 23 is not South Park, it's Tegrity Farms. So the central character for the first 6 episodes of season 23 is just about Randy. Like,
that was so
and to other kids, but or to the kids and stuff. But the A story for at least the first 6 episodes of that is Randy and Tegrity Farms. So every time there would be an episode, the name of the episode would also be a strain of weed that they have created, like the Mexican Joker that was brought up in this episode, and the Halloween special, which the Halloween special is one of my favorite lines in South Park history. When Randy comes in from the end and he looks at Sharon and goes, hey, Sharon, did everyone enjoy the Halloween special? And Sharon goes, no, Randy, only you enjoyed the Halloween special. And he goes, oh, well, whatever. That was pretty much my target demographic anyway. And that's kind of the same guy that I was watching had mentioned that that's kind of how Trey and Matt were feeling at this point writing the show. They wanted change, and Tegrity was that change. So this is actually the season finale of that season of season 23.
So here's a fun fact for you.
Yeah.
As far as I can tell,
yeah,
this is the last episode of South Park I've seen.
Really?
As far as the run goes, because I didn't have cable, and I didn't even have a streaming service really that had South Park. So I would buy the DVDs as they came out.
That makes sense.
And this was the last DVD that I bought before the world exploded the next year.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure I'll get caught up because it's only like, 4 years that I'm behind. So that's like maybe 12 episodes I'm missing because their seasons got shorter and shorter.
Season 27.
Okay.
And the problem is, well, I say problem, but it's not a problem for anyone except the massive streaming companies. They have started to shorten the seasons that they've been putting on Comedy Central because of their deal with Max. Their show goes on Comedy Central, then it streams on Max, but they're owned by Paramount. Yeah. So they do specials for Paramount, but the episodes come on HBO Max. So you do have a couple seasons to catch up on, but the last season was literally only 6 episodes.
That's what I was going to say. I think they're doing pretty much since the season, it's been 6 episode seasons, I'm pretty sure.
And the specials are on Paramount, which some of them are good, some of them aren't so good, but they're worth watching. All of them are pretty much worth watching.
I don't have intentions to not get caught up. Yeah. It was just you picked this episode and I walked over to my DVD shelf and thought, season 23 is the last DVD I own of South Park. And then I saw this was the last episode on that DVD and I thought, well, this may have been actually the last episode of South Park.
So this pick literally came from, besides the fact that it was South Park, this pick literally came from the fact that the newer Christmas episodes are the ones I've seen the least. And so I was like, I really want to watch something I haven't watched a ton of. And the first run of Christmas episodes of South Park, from the first one up to Woodland Critter Christmas,
home runs.
They're home runs. Every single one of them are home runs. But I have seen all of them 1,000 times, and I would much rather talk about one of those when we are closer to the season, kind of like we did.
And I don't want to say that this episode isn't a home run, but if we're going to keep baseball terms, it's still a solid 2 or 3 baser. You know what I mean?
Like for sure.
It's a strong episode. It's probably the most meta episode because you already made a reference to the Halloween special joke.
Yes.
The amount of times that they make the Christmas special joke, where it's just like, you need me to do a Christmas special.
Yeah.
Like, and
So the running bit was that Tegrity Farms was a sitcom. They had even put in like a laugh track and everything. So when they did the Halloween special, the opening really did feel like the opening of a Roseanne Halloween episode. It's literally Randy decorating for Halloween, singing "It's the most wonderful time of the year." It's the most wonderful time. And he's like throwing up jack-o'-lanterns and stuff. Are you guys ready for the Halloween special? And he's like pointing to the family. I think this is the moment where he tries to tell people that Shelly has a marijuana problem because Shelly hates weed. So he's like going on that Shelly has a marijuana problem, which is also referenced in this episode because he says, first Shelly had a marijuana problem. Now she has a cocaine problem, which I feel like we gotta take this one from the beginning.
We do have to take this one from the beginning. There's one last note that I have written down, though, because you already addressed it.
Yeah.
Which was that I wrote down, I forgot how much of a backseat the kids take in some of these seasons. I feel like I'm finally seeing them in this episode, and there's only 7 minutes left. So this really is a Randy Marsh heavy episode.
And that was another thing. I know you have the DVDs. I'm not sure if you have.
I haven't gotten to the commentaries yet,
so
but they're coming up.
What's cool is you do see them evolve as well, and they bring that up in one of the commentaries of one of the episodes of season 23, where he's like, "We got older, so like we identify more with the adults on the show. Like we still write for the kids, and of course the kids aren't doing like kid-friendly things, but we more identify with the adult characters. So you do notice a shift, honestly, by like season like 14 of them just like kind of Randy
Marsh became this runaway character. Randy became the main character
after the baseball
of the show.
episode. The baseball episode where he fights the
I thought this was America.
I thought this was America.
Yeah.
That was really the episode that Randy became Randy. He had been kind of he had been the joke before, but that was the episode.
He's such an interesting character to case study because like the first time you see Randy, he's not even addressed as Stan's dad at all. He's just a meteorologist during a volcano.
Yeah.
And then
he solves the fart problem.
Yeah, it's like it's almost like they either decided later he was Stan's dad, or they just were like, well, the parents don't matter that much in this show. Who the fuck cares? But
Randy is an A+ character.
Oh, like, top tier character.
Randy, I think it's cliche to almost say now, but Randy is my favorite character of South Park. Easily. Like, I think easily. Randy won, and then like ... other characters. Like
Meanwhile, in New Jersey.
So, Marissa, what talking points do you want to hit on in this week's episode?
Well, Jackie, let's talk about how the film addresses the patriarchy. Ooh, and representation of marginalized people. Ooh, and even philosophical ramifications of good versus evil in horror.
We can point out the triangle boobs, talk about the blood splatter, and the practical effects. And also the male gaze.
My gaze at the males.
Hi-yo! From feminism to fangirling, the Jersey Ghouls cover all the bases of horror from a woman's perspective.
New episodes are uploaded every other Sunday.
Just search Jersey Ghouls to find us on social media and your favorite podcasting app.
You've been lost in the woods for hours now, stumbling around in the dark. You come around the bend and see 2 people roasting marshmallows over a roaring fire. They see you coming into the clearing and gesture over to pull up a log. Welcome to Campfire Ashes. I'm Paul.
And I'm Jess. Join us as we tell each other our originally written spooky stories around the campfire and then dive into the lore and legends that inspired them. Is it something that goes bump in the night? Is it something menacing lurking past the tree line? Or is it just weird and otherworldly? You'll find it here on Campfire Ashes.
You can find us on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, or right here on the Geekscape Network.
Are you a fan of young adult novels?
Have you ever wondered the stories behind the people who wrote your favorite young adult novels?
Then join author Eric J. Brown
And Alyssa Lube of Netflix's The Circle.
every other Tuesday on YAOK.
Available on all podcasting apps.
Woo!
Okay, episode starts off strong with Mr. Banky singing a karaoke song at the tree lighting in South Park. They bring out Santa, and Santa makes a public service announcement about not drinking and driving, to which the adults in South Park boo him off the stage.
Yes.
And then we get this incredible montage set to Jingle Bells of just havoc as everyone is driving home drunk. It's so funny. It's so inappropriate, but the music mixed with it is just like everything you could ever hope for in a South Park episode.
Yes.
It's absolutely perfect. And that's where we find out that now, through a new ordinance, the sale of alcohol before New Year's Day is officially barred.
Yes.
And we get this. I love how dumb the adults in South Park are. So they show up and there's this chain across the aisle, and it's the guy just leaning up against the chain, not able to reach anything. No one attempts to just step over it. Like it's such a funny visual joke.
Yes. And that happens again. It happens a bit later when they cut off Randy.
Yeah.
They put the chain across Randy's door, but we'll get there. So they're all wondering who banned drinking and driving, and it was obviously Santa Claus, and everybody loses their Christmas spirit. So everybody's kind of freaking out. The kids are freaking out because they say that with no Christmas spirit, they're not going to get any presents, or their parents are going to buy them shitty gifts. And the governor, the mayor is upset because them drinking and having holiday spirit is what keeps the town going with their economy.
Yeah.
So they go to apologize to Randy for the way they treated him at the end of the kind of the Tegrity run. Like they're like, we need to go see an old friend, which I feel like was possibly people were going to think Hanky was coming in.
I thought maybe. I also feel like they're doing not exactly the same, but knowing the weird reference pool that Trey and Matt use, I felt like this could have been like a Rambo reference. You know how so many of those Rambo movies are like, we got to call in the old guy, like we got to go get Rambo, and he's like, just like out in the middle of nowhere, like as a lumberjack chopping down a tree, or like I felt like there was maybe they were going for a slight hint of that.
Yeah, they show up at Randy's house, and I love Randy's response where he's just like, "Oh hey, what's up, guys?" He's like, "No, I can't do anything. My season's over. Didn't you see the season finale?" Because the sixth episode was the half season point, so that's when Tegrity Farms has ended. So they come to Randy, and Randy and Tally decide that they're just gonna kind of mix everything together. And Randy's like, I don't really know what to do to make it a little more special. So he prays, and it begins to snow. So they decide to make the Christmas special.
They make the Christmas special, which everybody loves.
Yeah.
You could say people are addicted to it.
And everyone loves it.
And that's when the mayor asks, what is this white stuff on the Christmas special?
He's like, oh, yeah, that's cocaine.
Yeah. Well, because she's like, we got to talk about the Christmas special. And he's like, oh, you figured it out. I'm sorry, man. We couldn't grow any wheat, so we just mixed a bunch of old wheat together.
like that was the problem.
But then he just goes and in like a matter of hours gets cocaine legalized and walks in. He goes, okay, cocaine's totally legal now. I told you, it's 2019, dog.
Yeah, she's like, what? Yeah, dog, it's 2019. Okay, cocaine's legal now. That shit's so funny. So it cuts to the parents all fucking once again raging because they're now driving on cocaine. And this is one of my favorite bits where they're talking about, I think the parents have too much holiday spirit. Butter's mom had a lot of holiday spirit because she's riding around on an ATV with her tits out. She just comes flying down the fucking road.
It goes, Christmas! Woo!
Dude, this episode is so good. And
it's got some great moments. Well, and then we get, So Santa figures out that everybody's on cocaine.
Yes.
And this is where we get, a couple weeks ago, I talked about a Grinch parody I didn't like.
Yeah. Oh, hold
fucking
on. I
love
thought
this
you were
Grinch
going.
parody.
Hold on.
Oh.
Because before that happens, I don't know if you remember, but Santa basically bans. So he sets up a no selling from June 2nd. So he bans marijuana. So Randy releases Christmas snow marijuana free. So
that's right. Yes. So everyone just has jars of cocaine.
Yeah, he's just selling cocaine. And then, Santa picks up on what's going down and we get a Grinch parody, which is excellent.
Which is the moment where I said, this is why I love this so much compared to other ones, is just the smallest of details, but it's the gag of Santa giving Ike the glass of water and tapping him up the stairs like the Grinch does with Cindy Lou Who. And there's no dialogue there. You just have to remember the cartoon that you watched as a kid for that bit. But then as Santa has officially stolen all of the cocaine from South Park, in comes Randy and Towie to get it back.
Fucking shot of Santa talking on the phone with the underpants gnomes.
Yeah.
Who are his elves 1 month out of the year. And he's talking, and you just see fucking Randy like shuffling up with Towelie on his back, and he just goes, "Hey Santa, we gotta talk." At that point, I didn't remember how this episode went, so I was like, "Are Randy and Santa about to fist fight?" Because I do want to see that.
Instead, he gets Santa to try the coke, and Santa's like, "I don't care. I've had coke before." Ooh, damn, that is really clean.
Yeah. No, that's a really good high.
Yeah. And then Jesus shows up because he's like, how could you? How could you make Christmas about cocaine? How could you misread?
He's like, no, Jesus, you need to try this.
and then Jesus has the line that I love where he tries, he goes, "Okay, I get it. It's really clean."
I guess, every Christmas, you just need a little bit of integrity. So,
perfect.
Is this sending you down the path of watching more?
Oh, I mean, I literally, as I was watching it, I realized like, man, I'm behind by 4 years. I need to get caught up on South Park. So I'm Mr. Physical Media. So the first thing I'm going to see is which seasons are available on DVD.
Yeah.
And go from there.
I was sitting here when I was watching some of those YouTube videos. They were playing the DVD commentaries a little bit, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm kind of sad I don't own those. Like, I just own season 1. So I really do need to get out there, but it is very intimidating knowing that there are 25 to 26 seasons that I will have to purchase on DVD if I want all of them on DVD. So I'm a little scared about that.
Yeah, that's a big investment. But you know what, Dylan? It's an investment with some integrity.
It's definitely an investment with a little bit of integrity.
Oh, whoa, oh, now we won't stop till the big ball drops on New Year's. Happy holly, have a great holly, have a merry happy holiday.
Meanwhile, in New Jersey...
So, Marissa, what talking points do you want to hit on in this week's episode?
Well, Jackie, let's talk about how the film addresses the patriarchy. Ooh, and representation of marginalized people. Ooh, and even philosophical ramifications of good versus evil in horror.
We can point out the triangle boobs, talk about the blood splatter, and the practical effects. And also the male gaze.
My gaze at the males.
Hi-oh! From feminism to fangirling, the Jersey Ghouls cover all the bases of horror from a woman's perspective.
New episodes are uploaded every other Sunday.
Just search Jersey Ghouls to find us on social media and your favorite podcasting app.
You've been lost in the woods for hours now, stumbling around in the dark. You come around the bend and see 2 people roasting marshmallows over a roaring fire. They see you coming into the clearing and gesture over to pull up a log. Welcome to Campfire Ashes. I'm Paul.
And I'm Jess. Join us as we tell each other our originally written spooky stories around the campfire and then dive into the lore and legends that inspired them. Is it something that goes bump in the night? Is it something menacing lurking past the tree line? Or is it just weird and otherworldly? You'll find it here on Campfire Ashes.
You can find us on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, or right here on the Geekscape Network.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network.